Alright, detecting talk of the day. 13th day of June 2023, 7:17 Central Daylight Savings Time. Some of you all may have been looking at some of my videos as of late. I'm looking at this version 1.10, and I've talked a little bit about 1.00, talking about this FE, the iron TID set, and I'm going to be showing some newer tests. I'm probably going to put 1.10 back in my machine. And there's a couple of questions, that I have. And I talked to a buddy of mine, Michael Coley. We exchange a lot of comments, He bounces ideas off of me. He teaches me stuff too. Some of the stuff I've even showed in video is a result of his and my conversations. So this is not this is not just a Tennessee Sharpshooter Roadshow you're watching on my YouTube channel. I talk to different people and subjects come up, and then I start backtracking or investigating, to see the real deal. And if it's something I think could help people, I try to show it. So, yeah, Mr. Coley does deserve some credit. I'm not a credit hog, okay? Never have been. Now, back to this version 1.10, and even perhaps version 1.00. Here's a few questions I have. And, you want to be the best you can be with your machine. Your Deus too, if you bought it. Who wouldn't? So here's a question. If we go out running the version 1.10 and we run the fast program, for example, and now I've looked at that program and it behaves a whole lot like fast on version 0.71. Okay. Now, there could be some slight ID differences, but I'm not so worried about that. But so if you went out in a while with that running fast program in version 1.110 and you come on these signals that are reading that low single digit 7, 8, and 9. Well, I wonder if you went out and let's say you went out and you marked 10 of these targets. And then you flip that machine to sensitive FT. What would you see, reckon? Wonder if some of those signals started giving 80s ID. Well, from the testing I've done, you can clearly see that's definitely possible. But here's where I need to do some more testing. Running that 40 max frequency band is obviously better in a lot of situations in the iron, okay, for actual detection. But that FT program, sensitive FT program on that 1.10 seems to be doing better with the ID. Now, the question is this more attributed to the higher conductors? So what I want to try to do is I want to try to look to see this behavior when comparing fast in general, for example, to the sensitive FT program. Is this just attributed to the high conductors versus low conductors? Do low conductors actually tend to give a better ID? And how does this thing sound? And you may see me do sort of a retest of what I did yesterday, but go to pitch tones. And let's listen to the pitch tones. The 5 tones yesterday was clearly different, okay? And some people have made comments, that they can discern some nuance using pitch tones. Well, I'll sweep over, probably put 2 nails down and put a silver dime in the middle and come over them the easy way and see what that pitch tone sounds like. Now, we already know, okay, if we turn 90 degrees on that test you seen me do yesterday, you know what you're going to hear. with a 11 or a 9-inch coil, you're going to get iron tone big time, okay? So you would get using the fast program in that test, you would get that 9 in the meter, okay? And then you would turn on it, and you're going to get hard iron tone. So you would, you could be suspected, well, that's iron, I think I'll walk. But sensitive FT is clearly telling you something different. Yeah, you turn on it with sensitive FT, you're going to hear the iron tone, but sweeping it across, across the nails, you're getting a 80-something reading. Now, a machine that's unmasking real good, it becomes a very delicate balancing act in iron. And I have some suspicions, okay? And where I'm going with this is I do suspect maybe even running the sensitive FT or running version 100, a person may dig some more iron. Maybe a nail doesn't have to be bent quite as much, for example, to sound off, or even give maybe high conductor ID or higher conductor ID versus, say, 0.71 fast program or even version 1.10 of fast program. So I guess what I'm saying is in the hardest of hunted sites, this gentleman, Jay Strongbow, I think's his name, he's asked me a question, where you think maybe after looking at your video, I may have bailed on version 100 too fast for this newer version 1.10. Well, I can't answer that, but all I can do is show you the results. Now, look, sharpshooter's no fool, okay? These tests that I'm doing, I do realize, when you get iron in the ground rusty, different orientations, it's not, what I'm showing is not exactly true blue, but I think it does show the tendencies of that machine as far as when we're comparing these modes and these versions. Somewhat, at least, okay? So there may be, this sensitive FT program on this version 1.110. Is it going to get you some stuff out of the ground? No matter what tone selection you run, by the way, it's either going to be easier to hear or give a better ID to make you dig it versus the other programs on that version. Okay, is that true or false? And the same would apply to version 1.00. Realizing that, yeah, you may be opening yourself up to dig more iron. So I'm going to be doing some more tests today, and I'm going to try to mix the conductivity level up. And I'm also going to I'm going to move the target. And you're going to see me mark some targets. And what I mean by that is I'm going to put it in the version 1.10 fast program. And we're going to see when I start moving, for example, a coin by nail. Well, how far do I have to move it out to get it to give a high conductor ID versus a sensitive FT? That might tell us something. And then, and when I get it moved into where the sensitive FT quits giving the high conductor ID, what does the tone sound like? And then how does that same signal sound in the fast program? Does the audio get more corrupt? Okay, so that's what you're going to see. I'm going to try to do some today. The weather out here, it's cool, and the winds are calm, and that makes for good videos, okay? Look, I'm trying to learn this thing and try to, see more for myself, too. Okay, but I do share the data, and people want to watch. Hey, have a ball. Some people might frown upon this kind of stuff, but hey, nobody's made to come watch my YouTubes. That's all voluntary, okay? That's the detecting talk of the day. I hope you enjoyed.